going to tell us today is going to tell us about his experience regarding the mentoring. Over to you, DTM Tala.
Thank you so much. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
All our lives, we keep searching for meaning. When we are little, when we are babies, we don't have the awareness to have a purpose in life. Instead, we are the purpose of someone else's life, our parents. Then we start growing up and start becoming aware of the world around us. And as we grow up, we feel this gaping hole inside us. Why are we here? What are we doing? Is life just the name of work, study, earn, live, and die? Or is there some greater purpose to this life? And you know what? There's no easy answer to this. Philosophers have been debating this question for centuries, and still there is no consensus. Why is there no consensus? Because reality is different for all of us. This universe is different. It is different for you, it's different for me, it's different for everyone. And it is our different universe that determines whether we need to have a purpose in life or not. During school, we are taught that our purpose is to go through all the classes and pass the exams with flying colors until we get to college. Once we get to college, all our troubles will melt away and we know what's what. And then we get to college, the same promise dangling before us. Come, study, work hard. Once you enter practical life and start earning, that's when you will find what life is really about. Then, after passing college or university, we enter into practical life, that is, jobs or internships. And most of us start at the very first rung of the corporate ladder. And what do the corporate overlords do? Dangle the same promise in front of us. Come, work harder, and someday you'll be at a point where you will know what life is about, and this will all seem worth it. And all the while, we are completely blinded by what's ahead. We cannot see, just like the horses that have those blinders on both sides of their heads. We are just designed and conditioned to look forward and forward and forward. Not look back, not look at our sides, and perhaps that's where the reality lies. Future is just a promise after all. Future hasn't happened yet. And future only happens once we get to it. But when we get to it, we are still looking towards the future. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, about 2.5 years ago, I was going through my notice period at Al-Karam Textile Mills. And I was wondering the same thing to myself. Okay, I've resigned from this place, I'll join another place, and then perhaps one day I will get up from that place and resign and join another place. And this will continue until I'm 60 or 65 or whatever the retirement age is. Is that my purpose of life? Is that what we live for? Then a young man walked into my room and he told me, you are the one who's running the Toastmasters Club at Al-Karam? I said, yes, guilty as charged. And he said, I would like to join the club. And I told him one thing. I told him that you're most welcome to join the club, but I am in the last weeks of my notice period and I'm no longer certain what will happen to this club. Instead, if you join my home club, Karachi Toastmasters Club, you will have access to a world-class club that is under no threat whatsoever. And you will also be able to participate in Al Karam Toastmasters Club and in fact a host of other Toastmasters. That struck a chord with that young man and he agreed. And I had the honor of inducting him into Karachi Toastmasters Club. A short while later, he asked me to be his mentor, and I accepted. Slowly and gradually, he started going through the projects. Icebreaker, evaluation and feedback 1, 2, and researching and presenting. And then he delivered his first evaluation. And I noticed something stunning. I noticed that every time he came on stage, whether virtual or real, he held the audience in the palm of his hand. He was always so earnest, so serious, so sincere, that at times it got overbearing. And I've often told him that you need to lighten up a little bit. This Toastmasters is not just this whole serious business. We are allowed to have fun too. Apparently, this young man believed in a purpose so great that he did not have time to have fun. He kept going through his projects, and over the levels, another one of his amazing traits was discovered. He could come up with a speech and deliver it within a single day, and he did. But guess what? The audience could not tell because he was so thorough with his projects. He was so diligent and so sincere. His content was so superb that nobody could tell except his mentor, that was me. When he got to level 4 and level 5, he told me that, DTM Kalla, I'm sick and tired of cheating. I don't want to do a project in one day and then claim the credit. And I told him it's not cheating. You having put in the effort makes it not cheating. The project being beautiful makes it not cheating. So you deserve all the credit. And he told me, fine, let me get through this pathway in this manner, but I won't go through the next pathway in this manner. Later, that young man not only became a mentor of several Toastmasters, he became a mentor to this club. And recently, he has been appointed Assistant Area Director Program Quality of Area 3. The one good thing about him is that he makes time to attend the meeting and contribute no matter where he is, no matter whether he is at a new job or switching. And I know that he has passed through quite a lot of troubles over the years. He did not tell me, I could see it on his face, but he never flinched. I'm talking about none other than Toastmaster Amir Bilal. And Toastmaster Amir Bilal, I don't know to what degree I mentored you, but certainly I learned a whole lot from you and hope to do so in the future as well. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Talha, for your wonderful speech and you share experience. It's always the wonder to listen you. It's now we move to our next speaker. Our next speaker is TM Nazish Noman, evaluated by DTM Talha. So I request DTM Talha, please read the objective.
Sure. Thank you so much. Just give me a few seconds. Let me open the evaluation sheet. Toastmaster Amir, can you, I believe you shared the evaluation sheet with me. Am I right?
Hi, sorry, just let me send it to you now.
It's all right. It's all right. Sorry?
I send it to you.
Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, just give me a second. Okay. Do you have, it's actually funny.
It must be on your WhatsApp. I sent it to you
Yeah,
on the WhatsApp.
that's what I'm trying to locate. Uh, and I clearly remember you sending it to me, but I cannot locate it. Just give me a moment.
Uh,
It's
yeah, Nazish, if you can send it again, because
after the
Dr.
speech,
Stella,
yes, I can. Or you want me to send it now? Okay.
Just a second. Just a second. Let me.
Let me
Yeah.
send it again.
Okay. I have located it. I have located it. No worries. And
Okay.
apologies.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm running WhatsApp on my laptop, and somehow it's not getting synced with the WhatsApp on my phone. So it's a new fault that has emerged. Everyone take notice. So Toastmaster Nazish Noman will be delivering the first project from her level 2, Understand Your Leadership Style. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her primary leadership style or discuss leadership style in journal. The title of the speech is Gender Balanced Workforce and Early Childhood Development Programs. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmasters Nazish Noman, Gender Balanced Workforce and Early Childhood Development Programs.
Can I proceed?
Yes, yes, sure.
I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes.
Okay. Let me start with a little bit of something which will take, for which you will have to get back to your childhood. Let's have a flashback of our childhood. In our childhood, who as a male or a female teacher? You can open your mics and you can share your answers.
Usually a female teacher.
Female teacher. Great, 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 great. Although the identification of gender in a life of a newborn begins as soon as he or she sees the world. Isn't that we do and what we give our children at the ECE levels? We are only focusing on having the mother figure, the person who can take care of my child would be safe with that person. Why it's only a female? This is something which we really need to focus upon. Why our children only remember a female kindergarten teacher, unlike that of a male teacher? So for this, I have prepared a cascade. Please look very carefully at my cascade. You can see the eyes that are open, but you see my mouth is closed. There has to be a balance. When we talk about holistic development of a child, we forget that we are not giving them a gender balanced workforce at ECE. That is very, very important that we let them encounter both the identities, both the genders at this level. Piaget, Itard, Seguin, Montessori, the attachment theory, the social constructivist theory, they have all emphasized on having men in ECE. Now, what's the reason? What is the trouble? Why we have this cascade over our faces? Because we have our eyes open, we see, but we don't give it a voice. And our mouths are closed, zipped up, and hence the balance is not balanced, it's imbalanced. We need to enforce this notion. We need to support why men are only a symbol of power, a symbol of, kind of that irony in them. Why? They should have that courage to enter this. They can be real men are soft-hearted. They can take care of the babies. And generally, seriously, it's not the notion that we follow here in Pakistan or in Asian countries or in underdeveloped countries. We have this notion all around the world. We always foresee this, that West is, they are enlightened and they go beyond what we see and blah, blah, blah. But actually, it's not that. When I researched, I'm an educational researcher, and when I researched more, who broke the glass ceilings for glass ceilings, and it is always represented by female not entering in the profession. But what I am as a female talking about men entering in the ECE, there is a 9.7, according to US Bureau report in 2015, which was taken in 2015, we have only 9.7. And that is a huge, huge, huge amount of women in this field. And only 3.8 men are there in ECE. But with so many projects, counseling, with worldwide projects in Netherlands, Finland, Japan, US, UK, and you won't believe it's in Singapore. They have in Turkey, they have reached to a 5.8% of induction recruitment of male in ECE. That is something we need to really, enjoy and cherish. I'm really sad that the reasons that came out when I was researching about this notion, this phenomena, that why not men in ECE? I just came upon that they are the bread earners in underdeveloped countries, especially in my country, Pakistan. And many of the stakeholders used to believe, like 5 years back, that they could be the best, source of pedophile and other things. And then they have always looked down upon women in ECE. And that is why I really want people to come up and take care of the little children, and then they will understand, and then they will have this connection, and then they will be real people. Seriously, when I entered this profession, I found these young little babies, young little children, aged from 4 to 8, 3 to 8, the honest beings on this planet. And when I got detached, I was so much into this adult connections and so many other things. So we need to enjoy them, that support that is needed. Now I will share my screen and show you some dynamic leaders that are there. He is Alex Strauss, who has been a second person graduated from Western University of Washington. This one is Robert Trey, who is an entrepreneur and an ECE preschool teacher in Singapore. And he has broken the glass ceiling. Believe me, I want you all to open your mics and please give him a huge round of applause. He really needs that, seriously. Then there are other ECE teachers, men as ECE teachers. Let's have a look at them. See, they're working, they're telling their stories, they're working with them, they're enjoying their profession, and they are real teachers. But in Pakistan, only music teacher, sports teacher, only they are being inducted and recruited. We need to have a cascade removed. If it's a cascade, then it has to be balanced. So with this, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Nazish, for your wonderful speech, and you raised your voice about gender equality. So thank you again. So our next speaker is TM Hussain Shah, evaluated by TM Mudassir. So I request TM Mudassir, please read the objective. TM Mudassir, are you with us?
Thank you. Yes. TM Hussain Shah is delivering his presentation from module 1, which is presentation mastery, evaluation and feedback. So over to you, TM Hussain Shah.
TM Hussain Shah, speech stage is yours.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are
So-
perfectly audible and visible.
So this nation will remain the land of the free so long as it is the nation of the braves. Assalamu alaikum, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Hope you all are enjoying good health with this monsoon spell going on. Today, I will going to tell you that back when I was in seventh standard, our sports teacher came to my class, and he said me that if I would like to participate in the Boy Scouts. I was overwhelmed, and Quaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was also a scout. So, besides studies, I always used to participate in the co-curricular activities. So, I participated in this also. So, once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. So, do you all know who has the honor of becoming the first ambassador of Pakistan? Now, let me tell you a story. This is a story of about 19 July 1947. It's a long time ago. This was the sixth international scouting movement going on in in France, in which a group of 154 scouts from the subcontinent participated. There were many scouts from wave a single flag, the Union Jack, the English flag, on 11 August 1947 at the Jamboree ground. All decided to celebrate their partition, their independence, because partition was announced that partition would exist, partition would take place. So they have no chance. They had no flag. So the partition was announced, but the problem was in the making of the flag. You know, India, he gave his turban to make a flag. There was a boy from Multan who told his shirt for the flag. Now we have the cloth ready, but the manufacturing of flag was not ready. We have to make the flag. There come to we do not know how the flag looks like. This was also a problem. At that time, a scout, Khurshid Abbas, came to the Pakistani scouts. He gave the Muslim scouts the Intercontinental Daily News Paris, France daily newspaper. There consists the flag of the both countries of India and Pakistan. The problem was still there. How to make a flag? We could not sew the flag from the needles, but we have to manufacture it by machines. It was a co at the Jamboree ground. So France girls, two France scouts, came. They offered the help. In the meantime, they bring their sewing machine and they start to manufacture the flag. In no time, the flag was made. The flag was made on the morning of 14 August 1947 at 9 o'clock. Pakistani scouts waved their flag with all other countries, and this is the reason why this is the reason scouts have the reason to become the first ambassador of Pakistan. They have the honor, you know. The scouting in Pakistan is classified into three groups. The one is the Shaheen Scouts. They are the small boy scouts from age 7 to 11. Okay. Then come the Boy Scouts. They are from 12 to 16, the age. The Boy Scouts badge is this. Okay. Then come the Rover Scout. The Rover Scout scarf is this, and they are from the age of 17 to 25. The Rover Scout badge is this one. The Shine Scout has no badge. They are the small boys. My school used to participate in different competitions which were held at Ghoragali. Today also they are happening. These competitions classify the best scouts in the specific area, and then the best scouts compete with each other on the district level also and the regional level also. Then the best of the best scouts are praised by the chief minister also. Okay, so let me tell you about the founder of the scouting. Lord, no, Robert Baden-Powell was a British Army officer. He was the writer, founder, and the chief scout of the worldwide scouting movement with his sister Lady Agnes, who was the founder of the worldwide Girl Scouting movement. So, like Toastmaster, this scouting is also a non-voluntary and non-profitable organization, but which can help you build physically and mentally. I feel very proud when I was there in Mari Ghora Gali because I was on the sand seated, as there was also once Captain Lance Knight was also present there. I had a honor to sit there. When I was in school, I was honored as the Qaeda Azam Scout because I participated in the scouting in the divisional competitions. I had the shield and the certificate also of the Qaeda Azam Scout badge. So this scouting organization helped me build a soft corner towards the humanity, and that's why I called myself a public servant also. So this was the basic information regarding badges. Then we would like to end the speech also. So as you can see here, we have the forest badge, we have the wildlife badge, we have the swimming badge, we have the camping badge also, and this ER is the badge. I have told you that this badge is of the Boy Scouts when I was 11 to 14 years old, and after that I got this badge. This is the Rover Scout badge, and this is the Rover Scouts badge. They offered me this badge, and this is my Rover Scouts classification. I am recognized by this badge that I am a Rover Scout because this can also like this, and this is my scouting badge. You may like this, see like this. Okay, so this was all about the scouting. So here I would like to end my speech also. So thank you, and over to you, to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, TM Hussain Shah, by sharing your wonderful experiences and your badges. It really surprises us. Now, we move to our next speaker, TM Asghar, evaluated by DTM Malik Umair. So I request DTM Malik Umair, please read the objective.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose of Toastmaster Asghar's speech today is to practice the skills needed to present yourself well in an interview. Over to you, ma'am.
TM Asghar, now stage is yours.
TM, okay. So TM Asma, basically we are together to perform the fulfill the objective of this speech.
Together in the
TM
project.
Asma, are you around?
Yes, I am around.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes, maybe it's 5 to 7 minutes, right? So maybe I can time this one. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So Toastmasters and guests, TM, we are interviewing our dear fellow member TM Asghar. TM Asghar is a director for Medical Emergency Response Center, MERS. The center is basically about running the ambulance services on the roads. So, TM Asghar, would you please just start with just informing us about all these ambulance working on a day-to-day basis, and also we would like to know what this center, medical emergency response centers, what is their working, what is it about?
Uh, thank you very much. Let me, if you allow me, let me begin from the definition. The concise Oxford Dictionary defines an ambulance as a vehicle equipped for taking the sick or injured to and from the hospital. Now, the dictionary definition dominated till 1960s, perhaps, about the idea of ambulance as a transport to shift patient to the nearby hospital. Not anymore. Few of us know that the ambulance services have made the progress to develop from a simple transport as we see it on the road every day as a peri-hospital care service. Now the ambulance service is being modernized and transformed to support a wider role in the health continuum. The closest example being in Karachi being the Aman ambulance. If you get an opportunity, try to have a glimpse inside that ambulance. Uh, that ambulance fleet is stocked with the trained paramedic, which can significantly improve the patient's outcome when it comes to saving their lives. Now, what is true for Karachi is also true in other areas, including Balochistan. In Balochistan, we have MERC, Medical Emergency Response Center. It is basically a fleet of ambulances. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Asma.
Yes, TM sir, we would also like to know, like, what is the operational side of this response centers, and what is the organization structure? What is the operational structure of these projects?
Well, actually, as I've just mentioned that ambulance, about the ambulance service, these are basically two kind of services. One is for the transportation of the patient. The other one is equipped with the life-saving equipment. Now, the organization or the project that I'm adding is consists of the fleet of ambulances, which is on the life-saving, mission. This ambulance is sort of small operation theater has inside it, with the paramedic and the medical technicians. They have the necessary equipment with them when they get a news about the accident somewhere, because we have a different defined separate structure of communications. So as soon as they get information about the patient, they usually the ambulance moves to the sites and started treating the patient on the site, stabilize the patient, put it inside the ambulance, and drop it into one of the nearest fixed facility that can be in a trauma center or a hospital, something like that. Now, the organization skill, regarding the organization skill, we have established some 25 centers in the different part of the Balochistan, especially those areas where the occurrence of accident or are greater than the other areas. So once we receive the patients, we receive the news about an accident, we move our fleet as per need, and then we treat the patient there. We send some of them with the major injuries with their homes, and those who are serious, we transport them under the strict supervision of the experienced technician to the nearest facility. That is what we are doing there.
Can you please also let us know what is the latest progress of your organization, and as a director, what have you done, and what are your plans for the next year, this year?
Well, what we are doing in the current year, we are supposed to establish 25 centers equipped from their manpower ambulances. So far, we have established 20 centers. We need to make 5 centers in this coming financial year. Now, we need to construct the site for them, the building, which consists usually 3 rooms and a small boundary wall where we can park at least 2 ambulances simultaneously. We need to construct those 5 centers in the areas which is still remaining And then we need to recruit the manpower for all these 5 centers. Once we recruit them, there are the hierarchy of the manpower. We have technicians, we have an ambulance driver. So these two are a special kind of jobs. They need to be trained how to run an ambulance and how to treat somebody inside the ambulance. What we do, after recruiting them, we send them for the training. And once they're trained, we bring them to and posted them into all these 5 centers. So that is what we are going to do. Now, regarding the challenges, there are some challenges which we are facing during the service or during our projects. Number one, ambulance, at least our project have no knowledge about the patient when we dump them into a fixed facility. That could be a trauma center or anyone. So there is sort of mismatch between an efficient equipped ambulance with technician and a lethargic rural health center or a BHU in a rural area. Once we dump our patient at the door of that health facility, we don't know about them. So we can't calculate the patient outcome. So this is one challenge. And secondly, we need to, develop a united, currently we are just running the ambulance service. We need to develop a unified emergency operational model like 1122 in Punjab. Even Sindh and KPK does not have that unified structure. They have the 1122, but it is not unified. While Punjab has a unified emergency services, they have the equipment for the earthquake, they have the equipment to drag the people from the confined collapsed building, they have the equipment to rescue the drowned people who are drowned in a river or in a sea, and lastly, they have the facility to take the patient to the nearest hospital. So all these things are possible in a unified emergency service. Unfortunately, we do not have that currently, but we are looking forward to it. Over to you, Asma.
Thank you, TM Asghar. Amazing session. Thank you so much. Over to the TM of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you, TM Asma and TM Asghar for wonderful session. It's always treat to watch you guys. Now we move to our last speaker, TM Asma. TM Asma, evaluated by TM Amir Bilal. So I request TM Amir Bilal, please read the objective.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters. TM Asma will be delivering a project from Presentation Mastery Level 2. And the project is Understanding Your Communication Style. And the purpose statement for the project is for the member to understand and learn communication style and share its impact on others. Wish you all the best, TM Asma. Over to you.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. The project is about learning the communication styles. So there are 4 different types of communication styles: direct, initiating, supportive, and analytical. The direct communication style is more about being a commanding style. It's more goal-oriented, something more target-oriented. It is a confident style, which actually translate the exact goal that the person wants to achieve. Usually, you can see this style in offices, particularly when a superior is delegating work. But often this is also directly related to the personality type. The second style is initiating style. This is the style that a person is more a speaker, less a listener. But this style is a very effective style. It's an open style. It comes up with a lot of ideas, and it's a fun-loving kind of a style. This style opens up not only the person himself, but also lets others to feel at comfort. The other person starts to, it's an initiating kind of style where, when the person speaks up and opens up, the other person also opens up. So this is an initiating style. Then there is a third style, which we call is a supportive style. Supportive style is basically a usual style which is more a calm, a gentle style, something that is, when people can trust you more, people can think you that you're a much loyal person, a sincere person. They can come up to you, they can confide in you, they can trust you. So this is the supportive style. They can rely on you, they can depend on you. So this is the supportive style. And the fourth one is the analytical style. Usually, the analytical style is something which is very much into figures, something very much into facts. This style is something that, if there is a this can be very much into rating style. But it's mainly driven by the facts and figures that are on the board. So how I take these various styles, how we link it to the person. Actually, what we see is usually every other person is a unique person, and every other person has his own style. And not only that, this style of communication is usually linked to the person's ability to his personality type. Usually, but there are certain things that we've usually seen is that no matter what the style a person usually carries, uh, the style varies from time to time. Like, for instance, if a person is at home, the style would vary. If the person is talking with a boss or a colleague, the style would vary, a friend. So the style of communication is varied from person to person as well, to whom the person is communicating and what the person requires from the other person. Now, coming on to my own style, I think that in the same background, and I feel that my style also varies uh, from time to time. Uh, but on a general note, I would say that my style is more a supportive style. It's because it's the style that wants to listen more and to support the other ideas. So this is this is the style when people do confide, they do come up with the problems. But on the I would also say that the work that I'm doing, that like I'm a finance professional, and mostly the finance professional is somebody who's sitting at the back and supporting all the other departments. So the other departments come to me and they give us a problem. They tell me the problems, whatever they are facing, and this is my job to help them out, support them, and guide them to the best way, in a more compliant way, how they can overcome that issue and resolve the problem. So that is the reason, one of the reason why my style is more supportive. But on the other hand, I do see that while communicating with my subordinates, I am more of a direct person, because, of course, everybody has their targets or something to do, and at times people might, my subordinates might judge me as somebody more demanding. So that can be one of the styles that I can be one of these. Um, I would not say that I'm a very initiating person. I'm an introvert by personality. So, but yes, the analyticals. Finance is all about analytics, and analytics. So at times, I do see that I adopt this style while making my presentations or making my point across. Particularly, this happens because in some part of my professional career, I've also been a tax lawyer. So the tax lawyer has to come up with facts and figures and the legal aspects. So I think that partially I also have an analytical style. With this, I hand over the charge to TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Asma. What a wonderful speech. You share about different speaking styles. Now I request Madam Timer, please share your report that all speakers are qualified or not.
DTM Tala, I have a question. You mute. Please open the mic.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Okay. DTM Tala, I could not time TM Asghar and myself. So did we qualify? Okay.
Yes, you guys did.
Okay.
You guys
And,
did for 7 minutes and 24 seconds.
Okay. And there is one candidate who actually presented a very nice speech, but he exceeded the time. And he's relatively new. The speaker is relatively new, and I, as a president, I would recommend that can we give that person a bit of can we let him qualify?
Well, you are the president. It's your decision.
Okay, so if my team does not have any issue, please allow everybody to qualify, because I think that partially I'm also responsible that the person exceeded the time. Do I have to give my report as the timer right now?
No, you'll do it during the general evaluation session. But
Okay.
by how much did that person exceed the time?
40 seconds.
40 seconds. Okay, it's your decision. Usually, again, as president, it's entirely up to you. What usually happens is that if it's a matter of 5, 10, 15 seconds, then usually we include them in the voting. But if you really feel that it was partially your fault or you're to blame,
It was
then
partially my fault.
okay,
So
that
that's
is
why
perfectly fine. It's your decision. It's your decision.
Okay, so guys, please don't mind, but I want everybody to qualify for the voting. Is that
And
okay
Mr.
with you?
PQD, you did not hear or see anything. Okay.
Okay. So everybody qualified.
Congratulations to all speakers. You all are qualified. Now I request all Toastmasters, please float your votes and send your favorite speakers to TM Hussain. So please float your votes. We have 5 speakers: TM Talha, TM Nazish Noman, TM Asma, TM Hussain, TM Asghar.
TM Sabi, please proceed for the next session, which is table topic.
Okay. So now we move to our exciting session, the table topic. So our word is warly, means sorry, I forgot it. Carefully and cautious. So please use these words. Now I give handover. Now I hand over the charge to TM Mudassir for table topic sessions. TM Mudassir, stage is yours.
Let me share a screen for table topic session. Yes. Is it visible to all?
Yes, it's perfectly visible.
So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, Toastmasters wants to challenge members to develop their impromptu communication skills, to effectively think on their feet by answering unrehearsed questions, and the best way to do it is through table topics. These table topics are specifically designed to develop four essential skills. First one is listening, then organizing, thinking, and speaking. So today I will be asking questions about our theme of the evening, which is sacrifice. So what is sacrifice? It is an act of giving up something that you want to keep, especially in order to get something else or to help someone. Sacrifice is also something offered as a religious act. Some people are always ready to do whatever it takes to see other person in their lives. Some are also willing to sacrifice their lives for others because of the affection and love they have for one another and for the humanity or for the nation. When you are choosing to sacrifice for someone, then it is not by any obligation apart from this religious act, of course, but that is something which is done purely from the depth of your heart. Making sacrifice is not easy as many people presume it to be. We have numerous examples in our society for the people who sacrificed their life to the nation, to the humanity, and for their families also. So, So, do we really sacrifice? Yes, it's a part of our life and it's supposed to be. It's not something to regret, it's something to aspire. So, get ready to sacrifice because if you don't sacrifice for what you have or what you want, soon what you want will be sacrificed. That means that everything needs sacrifice. Nothing in life comes easy. Everything comes with a sacrifice. Now I will start with the discussion questions for table topics. So I will invite DTM Malik Muhammad Umair to please discuss this question. The greatest sacrifice is when you sacrifice your own happiness for the sake of someone. Do you agree with this statement?
Am I audible and visible? I cannot
Yes,
see
sir.
myself, so I cannot.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I completely agree with your statement, Toastmaster Mudassir, that the greatest sacrifice is sacrificing your own happiness for the happiness of others. That is indeed the greatest sacrifice because as human beings, when we are living, we crave for happiness. We try to do things that make us satisfied, that make us all happy. So if I'm going to sacrifice my own happiness for the happiness of someone else, then that indeed is the greatest sacrifice. When we read about the sacrifice of Eid al-Azha, we read that when Almighty ordered Hazrat Ibrahim to sacrifice his son, the devil came to him and tried to persuade him not to sacrifice and instead sacrifice something else. But that was the thing that was most dear to him. And he went on ahead to make Allah Almighty happy. He sacrificed his own son. And when he did so, Allah Almighty turned the knife and ordered him to sacrifice a lamb. So I strongly believe that yes, that is the greatest sacrifice that we can make. And if we are willing to sacrifice our own happiness to make a difference in the lives of others, Allah Almighty is going to make us happy, definitely. That's my very strong belief, and that's my own personal experience as well. So let us all try to spread smiles around, make sacrifices, and make a difference in the lives of others, and in turn, improve our own life quality as well. Over to you, Toastmaster Mudassir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, DTM Malik Umair, for your such a wonderful words. I'll move to the next question and invite guest Saim Ahmed to please discuss and answer this question. How parents sacrifice for their children in our society? Guest Saim Ahmed. Saim, are you there? Yes, ma'am. Instead of him, can you please answer this question, President Asma? How parents sacrifice for their children in our society?
So please, if you can time me for this.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Parents are genuinely a blessed and a gift from God. We are totally incapable to even uh, get our own basic needs, but the parents, God has given us this beautiful gift, which is in form of parents, that they do not look into their own needs, and they look after us when we are too small to handle our own self. The parents sacrifice their sleep in the initial phase. They sacrifice their wishes. They sacrifice their independence, because there are so many things that parents sacrifice for us just to bring us up. They sacrifice. At times they have to become like a role model for us, so that we can learn from them and we can be a better human beings. What we've seen is that our parents are just like a shelter for us. No matter what age we are, we can see that they're all the time looking after us, they're caring for us, they're worrying about us. So whoever has parents should actually really, in fact, it's also goes from me as well, that we should really be very thankful to Allah that He has given us parents and they are with us. And we need, as they're aging, we need to look after them, and we can never ever uh, really we can never reward them for what they've done. That's reward is only with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we should really look after them in whatever ways we can. Thank you. Over to you, Chiamadassar.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am, for such kind words. I'll move to the next question and invite TM Nasish Noman to please answer this. A good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Team
please.
Mudassar, for giving me this question, because it's really close to my heart. And it's been an experience of 16 years where I verily entered in ECE, but then it became my life, it became my lifestyle, being with the children, taking care of them. And the only thing that I really wanted to do was to make them empowered, to make them take their decisions, to make them have a voice, to at least communicate what they feel, to make them emotionally intelligent. So yes, I do feel the notion that is written over here is absolutely true, and I do agree. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I would invite Mr. Amir Bilal to please answer this question. Can you tell how doctors and paramedical staff sacrificed in pandemic?
Hello, everyone, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and Honorable President. We have been through really tough times, and this exactly is the time that made us realize humanity exists. Instead, this pandemic and this trouble that COVID has brought, it tried taking love away. Instead, it became like blessing in a disguise. We are more connected with the world and people. And there are a lot of people who have sacrificed so much, not only paramedical staff, but the other people too. And we are not mentioning one thing. The organizations we are working for, they actually paid salaries, keeping us home as well. So this too is a sacrifice. And those medical staff, salute to them for their services. They have always been on their toes to serve the nation, to serve the community, and eventually humanity. And I must say, in these crucial times, we also should realize and understand our civil responsibility of taking all the precautions so we can make their job a little easier as well. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you very much, TM Amir Bilal. For the last question, I would like to invite TM Hussain Shah to put some light on the sacrifice of a soldier who sacrificed for the country. TM Hussain Shah.
Am I audible and visible? Thank you for offering me this topic. Can you put some light on the life of a soldier who sacrificed for the country? I always wanted to be a soldier in my life. My father wishes and said me that in our family, we live in a joint family and we are a family of about 30 people in under one roof in one home. Okay, so my father always wishes that there is no lawyer, there is no soldier, and there is no engineer also. So, beta, son, you should go for the army. I applied for the army also in around 7th class. When I joined the scouting, I always wanted to be a I always wanted to be a soldier because it is the martyrdom is the biggest of the death. I always want to be a shaheed. You want to say that. So I always admire the soldiers, their life, their duties for the country. They are patriots. They are the real patriots. In the real meaning of patriots are the soldier who sacrifice their life on the borders. India and Pakistan are always on the edge of fight, on the edge of war. So you sleep, you sleep in the night peacefully because with the help of the soldiers they are standing, they are giving their duty, they are giving their all duty on their borders to make you people sleep in peace so that you people can enjoy, you civilians can go anywhere and enjoy your country. So a soldier, my admiration, my when I was small, uh, my goal, my goal was to become a soldier. I had written on my wall that I want to be a soldier. So I admire soldiers and I love their duty, their patriotism. So over to you then, Toastmaster Mudassirli.
Thank you very much. You want to become a soldier? That's why I have given you this question for discussion. So with this, it's an end for our debate topic sessions. TM Asma, can I have a report for each speaker who qualifies for the Best Table Topics Award? Thank you.
Everyone qualified. I just could not time my own self. So if somebody time, please.
It's
Let
2
me
minutes
know.
and 13 seconds. You qualified
Okay.
for that.
Okay. Everyone qualified.
Thank you. Now the charge is with Toastmaster of the evening, TM Sabi.
Thank you, TM Mudassir, for a wonderful table topic session. Everyone is qualified, so uh, please vote for the best table topic speaker. Our table topic speakers are DTM Malik Umair, TM Asma, TM Nazish, TM Amir Bilal, TM Hussain Shah. Please vote for best speaker and send your votes to Hussain Shah. TM Amir, can we move on our next session?
Yes, please. Everyone, please vote for the best debate topic speaker, and we please request DT Mumer to take charge for the general evaluation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to be here with all of you. As general evaluator, I'll be evaluating the meeting overall, and in the interest of time, I'll try to be quick and brief. We started the meeting 12 minutes late, so I'll encourage all of you, because we strongly say that time management is one of the key skills that Toastmasters teaches all of us. So I'll highly encourage all of you to try to start the meeting in time, even if role players are not present. We can all divide the roles amongst ourselves, and when that respective role player has joined the meeting, we can hand the role over to them with our report of whatever we have noted till that time. I absolutely loved how energetic start it was by our Sergeant at Arms. It was his first time being Sergeant at Arms, and absolutely loved that. I loved how he clapped, and that really uplifted my spirits and brought the energy into the meeting. I have only one recommendation: when handing over the control to anyone, and it's generic suggestion overall for everyone, whenever you are host and you're going to hand over the control to anyone, you're going to invite anyone on stage, try to introduce that person in 1 or 2 lines to establish the credibility of that person. Because as a host, it's our responsibility to build the credibility of the person so that the audience know that whoever is going to come on stage is a credible person. Absolutely loved how Madam President applauded Toastmaster Hussain for his wonderful Sergeant at Arms role, and then took introductions from the guests. Absolutely loved that. Loved how energetic Toastmaster of the day started the meeting, explained what sacrifice is, and I absolutely loved that she kept her comments very brief, very short, in the interest of time to cover that. Like, I absolutely loved that. And then she requested for the role players to explain their roles. That was beautifully done. Here I have one recommendation: if any guest joins midway through the meeting, consider letting that guest stay. And if you want to take introduction of that guest, it can be done either at the end of a segment or towards the end of the meeting when the president calls for comments. If any guest joined late, we can ask that guest for their introduction as well as their comments so that the flow of the meeting is not interrupted. Then we had some amazing, inspiring, and wonderful prepared speeches. All the prepared speakers were thoroughly prepared. And to evaluate the prepared speakers, we have the respective evaluators. In order to evaluate our wonderful speech by DTM Talha, we have an inspiring Toastmaster who is currently the president of Quetta Toastmasters Club. Very down to earth, very humble person, none other than Toastmaster Asghar. Toastmaster Asghar, over to you for the evaluation.
Thank you, DTM Omer, calling me down to earth and humble. I'm rarely called by such attributes. Coming to the speech, DTM Tala's evaluation is something I always want to avoid for certain reasons. But it was, all of a sudden imposed on me, and there was no escape route to exit ARIM. DTM Tala, the objective of your speech is to describe some aspect of your experience regarding mentoring someone. The start was rather philosophical, and what I caught from the very beginning is search for meaning, and this has a lot of meaning within this very sentence. And rather philosophically, you said that we are not aware when we were babies. The ideas are imposed upon us, but when we grow up, we realize the gaping holes. And then we started to unlearn the things which we learned. And then you beautifully described how the reality is different, what we see or what we had seen it during our childhood. And then you describe the design of conditioning the thoughts. And the way you illustrate your point with an example, connecting it with the Toastmaster Club. I like it not because you did it. I like it because it's also my favorite way of doing it, the dragging the things up to the Toastmaster or the Toastmaster Club. That is one of the things, we can relate it. And you describe Amir Bilal as your mentor, and that's why I see Amir being the president of this club. It is Amir, you have to confess that it is because of his, mentoring. Um, as always, Tala, I like in DTM Tala the way he deploy the structure of English or the structure of grammar, the structure of the language. Guilty is charged. The future is just a promise. And reality is different. Just to design a condition, and some promises dangling. And the way, he used his body gesturing some promises or dangling towards us. Uh, Absolutely, he's the masters of this trade, and I always keenly and closely hear him because of these abilities. But here is only one area which I want to mention as an area of improvement. I think that it is something to do with the proportion of your speech. You add a rather long introduction and took time to reach the part of the speech where you are supposed to meet your objectives. And this is something I think you need to look forward. But before I end, I would like to repeat something. The pace of speaking was slower, and not because I don't like it. On the contrary, because because I dislike it. It was not the area of improvement. It was a positive point. I mean, I always have a complaint about you to slow down. And today, uh, unwittingly, you accept my request. Your pace of speaking was quite slow, and we were able to catch many sentences and many vocabularies. And not only to catch them, but to absorb them. Overall, it was a great speech as usual. Looking forward you with the same spirit. Thank you. Over to you, Journal Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar, for being a little bit wary in evaluating DTM Talha. I can completely understand and relate to that feeling. Our second speaker today was Toastmaster Nazish, and her speech will be evaluated by none other than our very own district director, DTM Talha. DTM Talha, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, DTM Umar. I'm still recovering a little bit from Toastmaster Asghar's evaluation. I'll try to do the best I can. So, Toastmaster Nazish Noman. The first point of my evaluation is that perhaps you mistook the project that you were supposed to be doing. Actually, the project evaluation sheet that you passed on to me was about understanding your leadership style. But perhaps you were supposed to be doing the evaluation and feedback part 1 project, which is the second project. So I will evaluate it as such. So Toastmaster Nazish, I request the timer that the evaluation starts now, okay? Because I was just clarifying the point about the project before that. So glass ceiling, I am totally and thoroughly flabbergasted and blown away. All our lives, we have always perceived the glass ceiling to be something that only females are subject to. And it is something that they have to break through. but you redefined glass ceiling, the concept of glass ceiling. And you made me realize that glass ceilings or artificial barriers are everywhere. You asserted that in our society, it is stereotypical of men to be unemotional, to be oblivious to other people's delicate feelings, to be not caring, and to be a little bit ruthless and cruel. That's what society expects us to be. And in fact, let me add here that ironically, mostly it is the women in our society that expect men to be like that. Because if we don't act like that, it is not our wives or daughters or sisters who object. More often than not, it is our mothers who object. You should behave like a man. Why are you behaving like a woman? And that can extend from anything from picking up after you have eaten to taking your wife out for a chore or contributing in household work. So absolutely fantastic point. And the way you related that to the topic of your speech, it was stunning. I mean, seriously, anything I say in the way of evaluation is paling in comparison to the message you conveyed today, because I hadn't thought that way before today. That yes, we need male teachers also at the kindergarten stage, at the early stage of education. Why aren't children exposed to both the genders in the early stages? That is such an obvious question, and yet it is pervasive in all our society. You had great vocabulary, you had a forceful style, which is very passionate and infectious. And some of that passion has made it to my evaluation as well. You had amazing gestures, which were completely harmonized with your speech. And I must also applaud the background that you chose. You presented your speech as a complete package, taking advantage of this online medium. Instead of bemoaning the lack of a real stage, you grabbed the bull by the horns and you took advantage of the digital medium and you enhanced your speech through that stunning background. And that is something that I thoroughly appreciate, and that is something we can all learn from. Uh, in terms of improvement areas, I felt at times that there were too many ideas in your speech that were jostling for space. So as a result, at times your speech came across as slightly unstructured and slightly disorganized, and sometimes you spoke too fast. But other than that, other than those minor improvement areas, I thoroughly admire your speech, and it was a job well done. Congratulations. Looking forward to hearing you more. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha, for such a thorough evaluation. Our next speaker was none other than Madam President, Toastmaster Asma, and her speech will be evaluated by VP Education, Toastmaster Amir. Toastmaster Amir, over to you. Toastmaster Amir, are you there?
Hello, everyone. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible and visible.
Right. Fellow Toastmasters, Team Asma presented her project from Presentation Mastery Level 2, and project was Understanding Your Communication Style and its impact on others. Team Asma started so wonderfully. She was so comfortable when she began, and she had a wonderful gesture on her face as well. And best of all, she covered all the project aspects and the basic requirements. And now the things I consider a speaker, if I talk about myself, we when speaking, we are just like actors. Did you ever see people crying watching dramas or movies on their screens? Yes, because that actually is the effort of an actor. He adopted the character and then delivered it in a way that it is actually happening in his life. So whenever we convey or speak to the audience, we should adopt all that. And I think you did it wonderfully. But this project, what you could have done, and that would have made a better impact would have been like introducing an act or communication style of somebody or your communication style with examples that would have brought more energy to your project. And one more thing, since we are digitally connected, it's really difficult to measure the eye contact, but still I could see that can be improved in your future projects as well. So overall, I love your project. You delivered it wonderfully, and I am looking forward to see more of your projects in future as well. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amir. Our next speaker was none other than our Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Hussain, and his speech will be evaluated by none other than our very inspiring table topics master for today, who did a wonderful session today, Toastmaster Mudassir. Over to you, Toastmaster Mudassir.
Thank you very much, DTM Malik Muhammad Umair. So, TM Hussain was actually presenting evaluation and feedback from first level of presentation mastery, and it was his second speech. TM Hussain always surprises me. We have started Toastmasters journey together, but I can see him flourishing and improving in every other meeting and taking parts in leading roles, mashallah. Starting speech with a quote is really impressive. In fact, wearing a scout uniform is something to put yourself into the role and making impact in front of the audience. Then he used this quote, once you become fearless, life become limitless. So it was very impressive. Using facts like dates are also very fascinating. Uh, Overall, telling about the categories of the scouting categories was very informative. Few points for improvement, like make more impact through voice modulation, like increasing or decreasing your voice on particular statements, on particular quotes, so that the audience can better understand and remember that particular quotes. And please also eliminate the dictating style, like don't use too much the word okay in your speech. I have seen it, you are using okay word 2 or 3 times in your speech, so don't use this word too much. Secondly, I heard a word from in your speech which was honored. So actually, try to go back to the dictionary and check it out. It's honored, like you better saying it. It's honored. And last point, that use the same energy throughout your speech. The opening was very impressive, and I would see that the closing must also be impressive as the opening. So you have got a low energy at the end of your speech. So try improve it next time. Thank you. Over to you, DTM Malik Umair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mudassir. Our last speaker for today's segment was none other than Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar, and he delivered an expert interview. Toastmaster Asma, you are the timer, am I right? Okay, wonderful. So I can see you on my screen. So I'll be starting the evaluation of Toastmaster Asghar. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar, for enriching all of us and informing all of us about your profession and the ambulance service. Some of the things that I absolutely loved about your expert interview, first and foremost, which is a fundamental element of any interview, whether we are going for job interview or an expert interview or any other interview, the first and fundamental thing that is to be self-aware, self-awareness. And that categorically showed in your interview today when you were comfortable enough in responding to the questions, your passion that exuded through the way you were talking about the topic. It literally showed not only in your words, but from your face and your gestures as well. And we could all feel how passionate and how self-aware you are about this topic. So that was the first and foremost thing that I loved. The second thing, when you are in an expert interview, the second thing that is fundamental is to do your research properly so that you can show that you really are the expert in that field, in that profession. And that was again evident when you talked about the history of ambulance, and when you compared the ambulance service in Punjab and other provinces. That was absolutely spot on. The third and the last thing that I absolutely loved about your speech, but not the least, it was your body language and your overall demeanor. Your hand gestures, they were absolutely spot on. Like, for example, when you said that there are 25 centers all across Balochistan, and you had your hand gestures like you were using your hand gestures like this, and this. They are all placed at these places. That was absolutely spot on. And your overall demeanor, how cool and calm you appeared when talking about that topic, that was absolutely lovely. And I can say that it definitely the audience could feel that as well. Now, coming towards the areas of improvement, I have a few suggestions. The first and foremost, in my opinion, you're talking about the expert thing. So if you can start with a short story about ambulance so that the audience can connect rather than a dictionary definition of ambulance, that will enable you to connect with the audience in a better way. My second suggestion will be try to look directly into the camera to establish an eye contact with the audience. Overall, absolutely lovely interview. And I definitely look forward to listening to more of your future projects. So that was all from my evaluation of Toastmaster Asghar. Coming back towards the general evaluation, I have the table topic master. He did an amazing job. I have only one suggestion for the table topic master. As a table topic master, our role is to speak the least of all and to give everyone else in the meeting all the time that they need to speak and give them the opportunity. So in my humble opinion, if we can skip that 3 or 4 minute speech at the start of the table topic session regarding the theme of the meeting, that will really be helpful, and that will enable the table topic master to accommodate more speakers in the table topic session and give more people a chance therein. So one last recommendation that I have is for the voting, try creating a poll so that we can have anonymous votes rather than voting directly to the voter. That will also save time for everyone, because in chat box, if anyone sends a message even to everyone, that pops at the top of the chat, even for the vote counter as well. So that will save the vote counter as well a lot of hassle. If we can try creating a poll, that will really be more efficient and it will save time as well. So can I please now have the reports from our role players, our grammarian for the day, DTM Talha.
Thank you so much, DTM CGD Kumar. I tried to note down some grammatical errors. I don't promise to be 100% accurate or complete, because I was doing some other things in the meanwhile as well. But to the extent possible, I will first point out the grammatical errors and suggest corrections. Someone said listen you could have been listen to you. At the senior levels could have been when they're older. Someone used kind of irony. So I believe they wanted to use it as opposed to something very soft. So the word could have been, they were iron-willed or ironclad, because they were talking about men being kind of, having an image of being an Iron Man. And then blah, blah, blah was used. I'm seriously torn. At one end of the spectrum, I loved it. But at the other end, I tend to think that in a formal speech, perhaps a better substitute could have been employed. Good health could have been good health. It really surprises us. Should have been, it really surprised us. Running ambulance services on the road could have been running ambulance service. No need to be on the road. 4 different types could have been 4 types. And I'm often guilty of that as well, adding too many words to mean the same thing. So we can cut down on that. Much loyal person could have been loyal person. Every person is a unique person. Again, something that I tend to do. But fortunately, no one was catching my mistakes today. And so could have been every person is a unique person, could have been every person is unique. Then some good usages, of which there was no shortage, and apologies for missing out on some. Let them encounter both the genders. What is the trouble? Cascade over our faces. Although that could have been, maybe you meant facades over our faces. Cascade is maybe something else, but correct me if I'm wrong. Men can be soft-hearted too. Land of the free, on the edge of war, keenly and closely hear him. Proportion of speech, on the contrary, unwittingly you accepted it. We are just like actors, passion exuded by the way you were talking. That was my report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha, for such an elaborate report. Now, can I please request our word master, Toastmaster Mudassir, to share your report with all of us?
Thank you very much. The word for today's evening was verily, which means cautiously or carefully. But unfortunately, nobody has used this word in their speech or as well as on the table topics. So I would appreciate that we should always keep the word of the day in our talks, in our speeches, in order to learn it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mudassir. There's a message in the chat. DTM Talha, Toastmaster Nazish is saying that she has used the word of the day, and yes, I also used the word of the day. Now, can we have our listener for the day, Toastmaster Amir? Let's see how he tests our listening skills.
Hello, everyone. So we are here to one of the most interesting part of the meeting, which is listening. And being honest, I was completely indulged in meeting, and I feel the quality of our meeting has increased so much, and I almost forgot my role twice or thrice during this meeting. But still, I have a few phrases to identify. One of them is we have this notion all around the world. We have this notion all around the world.
I think Toastmaster Nazish.
Yes, right. Some promises dangling. Some promises dangling.
DTM Tala, because I was evaluator. So it's confirmed.
So you both used it. All right. I did not have a escape route. I did not have a escape route.
Yeah, Mohammed
TM, TM Asma.
Tim Asghar,
Asghar.
never escape.
Yes, TM is good. Ideas are opposed on us. Ideas are opposed on us.
DTM Talha.
Toastmaster Asghar. Toastmaster Asghar.
Yes, yes. I want to be a soldier. I have written this on my wall.
Thank
I want to
Hussein
be
Shah.
a soldier.
Hussein Shah.
Quite visible.
Dictionary definition dominated. Dictionary
Toastmaster.
definition dominated. Yes, Toastmaster is good. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amir. We definitely need to be more attentive and we need to work on our listening skills a little more to be more attentive. With this, can I please have the report from our timer? Have all the evaluators qualified?
Yes, all the evaluators have also qualified.
Wonderful. So can I please request everyone to vote for the best evaluator? And the evaluators were Toastmaster Asghar, DTM Talha, Toastmaster Amir, Toastmaster Mudassir, and myself, DTM Malik Umair. And while all of you are voting, I would like to hand over the control back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Asma. Ma'am, over to you.
It was a wonderful session. Just like Amir said, I mean, I was actually engrossed at times and missed out timings. So I have to admit this. Amazing session. I'm very, very grateful for all the members to attend and especially grateful to TM Malik Umair. that he attended our session. It's a really honor to have you, TM Omer, DTM Omer. Uh, and also the suggestions that you've sent, you've given are really we've noted down, and we hope that we would be able to um, incorporate it in our next meetings. A wonderful session by TM Mudassir and everyone.
Sorry, Madam Asma. I think we missed a part. We missed table topic evaluation. So
I'm
if
sorry.
that
I'm
is
apologies.
possible, can we go
Apologies.
back?
Missed out. Yeah. Yes. Apologies. Apologies. Please let's go with. I think TM Nazish will be delivering this. The TM Nazish, you're the evaluator for table topics, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Apologies.
Yes, PM
Apologies for
Nazish
missing
is the
that
table
out.
topic evaluation.
It's okay. Actually, it was missed in the intro, so I thought it might be a routine to not, take that into an account. Anyway, yes, all the table topic speeches were awesome, including I really liked the energy in table topics speeches today, which is hardly seen anywhere. I mean, completely every single person participated, and they used the theme very nicely. Just the word was not much used by all the speech persons, but what TM Omer said about life, about sacrifice, was very amazing. He connected sacrifice with happiness, he connected it with a religious event, and through that, he told us the moral and the lesson of life and the meaning of sacrifice. Then we had TM Saim. He also talked about TM Saim, right? Yeah. He talked about parents. Then I think Saim was not there, and Asma, President Asma contributed instead of Saim. So she talked about parents. Yes, it's very true that parenting itself calls for a lot of sacrifices, uh, lot of intervention that needs to be there while parenting. You can't just leave a seed to grow by itself. You have to water it. You have to put in good, sand and other things. So yes, parenting is a lot which is required. A lot of sacrifice required there. Then it was me, myself on teaching. And then TM Amir Bilal, he spoke about the current pandemic scenario. He associated that with the medical staff for civil responsibility, and it was very nice to hear him. Then it was our little Hussein Shah, who wanted to be a soldier, and he wanted to be a martyr as well. And Hussein, you doesn't have to be a martyr. We all are soldiers, seriously. In our life, we are combating so much, whether they are opinions, whether they are feedbacks, whether they are people's choices, mindsets, we are combating there. So even if you're not there in the army, you are still a soldier. So, and you are there in the Scouts. So I really congratulate you coming up with your words, coming up with your voice. At least you're voicing up. So everybody, every single person in Table Topic did a great job. Thank you.
Hussein, can you please share the votes? Were you able to? Apologies, my apologies. We need to have the votes for the best big four. We would request that you please. The big four are TM
Yes.
Malikumer, TM Sabi, TM Mudassir, and TM Nazish. Right. Thank you, TM Sabi, for writing it in chat. Please kindly share your votes with TM Hussein so that he can let us know who are the winners for today's meeting.
So is there anyone left to vote, or should I conclude and winner?
I think you should just count the votes that you have gotten so that you can announce the result.
So are you ready for the votes for the winners? So for the prepared speeches,
Team Essential, there will be 4 votings, right? You have four vote for 4, right?
Yes.
First is best
prepared
speeches,
speeches. Yes.
best
Before
table topic,
Big Four
best
and
evaluator, best evaluator,
yes,
yes, and the 4th one is Big 4.
Big Four. Yes.
Okay, so you've got received the votes. Okay.
Yes,
So please
I prepared my.
just announce only the winners. Okay. Please announce
Okay.
if you are ready.
For the prepared.
Team Essential, I don't know. It's my
For the
system
prepared
or-
speeches, the winner is Nazish Numan, TM Nazish Numan. Topics. There is TM.
the best table
What?
topic. Please come again because I think your there seems to be some connectivity issue.
Yes.
So for the table topics, TM Sen, I am the winner. Okay. For the best evaluator, we have DTM Tala.
Thank you.
And for the Big Four, we have the one and only DTM Malik Umair. Congratulations to all the winners out there.
Congratulations to all the winners. I think, in fact, it was a wonderful meeting, and I was just discussing it with one of the group members. It was an extremely exciting and thrilling meeting that I've attended. So now we should conclude the meeting. So everyone, thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining in. And special thanks to DTM Malik Umair, who joined us. He took out time, and really thank you so much for joining us. It was quite a learning experience to have you on a meeting, and we'd like to incorporate your suggestions. So everybody, please have a very good evening, and the meeting stands adjourned. So goodbye and stay blessed. Thank you so much.
Allah Hafiz, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, DTM Umair.
Thank
Special gratitude to you because we all know you just gotten free of the club officers training in the morning, about 3 hours session, and once again you found the time to grace our meeting. Sincere gratitude to you. Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure, and thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be of service when it comes to Toastmasters. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. And Toastmaster Laiba Gayas,
Allah
let
Hafiz.
me say hello before I say goodbye. Thank you for dropping in, but you unfortunately dropped in just as we are ending the meeting.
But this
would-
means that Team Laiba, we expect you to be in our next meeting as well.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Sure.
Yeah. So this could prove to be an invitation for her to join our upcoming meetings.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Allah Hafiz.
Allah
Okay.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah
Thank you,
Hafiz,
everyone.
goodbye.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.